Hello, how are you doing? How goes it? For the past few weeks, I've been craving some more me time, self-careness, all those good things, and I figured that today is as good of a day as any to do it, and it'd be also fun to bring you guys along with me for the ride. Before the day gets started though, I do want to say a thank you to Cricut for sponsoring today's video. They actually sent me some of their machines to try out, and one of the things I plan on doing with them today is customizing some cozy sweatshirts. Should be a hoot. Let the self-caring commence, as they say. Who says it? I don't know, but they say it. Someone says it, I say it. That's my meditation pillow. I've decided to turn on do not disturb mode for the next few hours, because even though I don't have notifications for social media, I still have notifications for my inbox and for different apps. Then there's also texts that come in, and sometimes it's just nice to say, you know what, for the next few hours, I'm not here. I'm off the grid. I know everyone understands the feeling of being addicted to your phone, but I think with me, in my case, because my job is social media, my phone isn't just something I look at and think, ooh, fun scrolling online, good times. I also associate it with things like notes for video concepts and footage for videos and promoting new content and just a ton of more work-related stuff that I enjoy but are part of my job. So time spent on my phone sometimes is like this weird push and pull between, am I really relaxing right now, or am I getting distracted by work things when I'm off the clock? I'm probably even gonna find a hiding spot for it, because do not disturb mode is great, but what's even better is do not disturb mode plus keeping the phone out of arm's reach, because if it's out of arm's reach, you're not gonna go for the instinctual phone pickup check. And as I talk about this, I feel like it's something to feel shameful of, like, oh, why do I have to like hide my phone from myself? I have no willpower, blah, blah, blah. But this is the world we live in. We are in a digital age, so why try and feel shame over that and instead find just healthy methods of making that relationship a positive one? Because I think it can be a positive one. I'm not on team technology is the enemy. I just think, like most things in life, it's all about balance. It's all about moderation. Okay, now my butt is starting to hurt because I moved off of the meditation pillow. That meditation was really good though. I'll link the YouTube one. It's just a 5-minute quick one that I used in the description. Oh, I am so excited for what we're about to do next. Let me put you on the tripod. Okay, there you go. But an unconventional form of self-care that I think we can all benefit from is taking time to be creative. I've got some beautiful but pretty blank crew necks here that I think would be so fun to customize, and I'm gonna use my Cricut Explore Air 2 and also the Cricut Easy Press 2. She looks so pretty. They're even color coordinated. Look at that. I've been testing both the machines out and they're very easy to use, so I think this is just gonna be a nice relaxing activity that gives me a distraction from work, to-do lists, life responsibilities, all the things that we shouldn't be thinking about on a self-care day, if I do say so myself. As you all know, I'm a big lover of coffee, so it felt like the only acceptable theme to go for these sweatshirt designs was the coffee route. It really took me no time at all to put my designs together on the Cricut design space, so do not be intimidated if you yourself don't feel like you're a graphic designer. Even if you don't want to design yourself, there are tons and tons of projects already put together for you that walk you through the process of creating them step by step, like a nice handhold. I will help you. Once I was happy with the coffee text, it was time to cut it out onto some white everyday iron-on. I chose white because I just feel like it'll pop really nicely on both sweatshirts. And then I let the Explore Air 2 cutting machine do its thing. It's a super simple machine to use. It can cut 100 materials, including things like vinyl, felt, leather, cardstock, and so much more. And beyond just cutting things, it can also draw and score materials. So you've got a lot of options to play around with. We love our options. This is the step I'm at right now. I just need to weed off the excess material and get ironing. I've got my Easy Press mat and my Easy Press on and set to the correct temperature based on the heat guide. Sweatshirt down here. I'm gonna just place this and on you go. Flip it over. Look at that. On to sweater 2. Do you like?
Yeah, that looks so cool.
Look at this.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
So cute. Safe to say though that I will be using the Easy Press 2 and the Explorer Air 2 a lot for future projects around the apartment. I already have my eyes on some tea towels that I want to customize. I'm going to include links to both of these projects I designed in the description box below, as well as links to the Cricut Explorer Air 2 and the Easy Press 2, so be sure to check them out. This is the best thing I've ever done. In the spirit of the sweater that I have just made, we are also making iced coffee. So I've got my mug full of ice. If any of you have found iced coffee TikTok, then you will notice a lot of people put in these really fancy caramel vanilla syrups into their iced coffee. I thought it'd be fun to try it out myself. I just got a caramel syrup made for Sundays. Pour a little bit like that. Since this is an iced coffee and not an iced latte, I actually made this brew last night after dinner. I just made a regular hot coffee, let it cool to room temperature, and then put it in the fridge. And then just like how I would a regular hot coffee, I'm adding some almond vanilla creamer. Wow, look at us together. We look so good. My next leisure activity while I consume my caffeine is to do some reading. This is the book that I'm starting today. I talked about it in my vlog a couple weeks back. I showed myself getting this. The tagline is Sally Thorne returns with a cute, quirky rom-com set in a retirement community, proving young love can ignite in the unlikeliest of locations. It smells fresh too. You know that new book smell? Ooh, I love that. New book smell, coffee. We're really having the best time right now. I'm gonna get my TV fired up here because one of the things I like doing lately is going on YouTube and finding aesthetic background music to put on my TV while I read. And it just sets like a good mood. Hello?
Okay, I've had such a day.
Oh no. I was getting hungry, so I ordered one of my favorite veggie burgers that I can find in the city. It's from a restaurant called Seven West. I believe I've talked about it before, but I love this burger because it's made with black beans, quinoa, I think. They put cucumbers in it and hummus. It's such a refreshing burger, like vegetarian burger. When done sparingly, I think takeout is a form of self-care for me because it gives me a free night from cooking, which I appreciate as much as I like cooking. I don't love it, but I feel like you can get that same self-care vibe from even just making a meal that you're really excited to eat, whatever that looks like for you, whatever your comfort food is. I know one of the things I like to do when I want to spice up my cooking sessions is even just put on some dinner music and just make it more of a fun event rather than a chore. There's the most beautiful glow happening in this apartment right now. I love the sunlight that it gets. I guess I should show you. Look at that. The camera really doesn't do it justice, but it's very nice. I have my laptop out because I want to do a personality test. I actually think I'm going to do the Big 5 personality test. It's one of the ones I don't think I've taken before. I've taken ones like the Myers-Briggs, numerology, Enneagram, and although I never take the results of a personality test as a given, I do think it's just a fun way to do self-reflection. I talk a lot about self-reflection questions and journaling, but sometimes that's a little bit more of a serious thing to do, whereas a personality test can be a little bit more freeing, but you're still kind of forced to ask yourself those questions. Does this represent me? Is this correct? Am I more like this instead? Oh, there's a lot of questions here. I'm gonna go through this and get back to you with the results. The Big Five assessment measures your scores on 5 major dimensions of personality: openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Your score for openness was high at 83%. Openness describes a person's tendency to think in abstract, complex ways. High scores are prone to associative thinking, meaning that they readily see relationships between things. Conscientiousness describes a person's ability to exercise self-discipline and control in order to pursue their goals. It makes sense to me that I ranked high on this because I'm a big planner. I like to-do lists, and I would say I'm pretty self-disciplined with the work that I do. I'm pretty good at keeping me on track. Your mid-range score on this dimension indicates that you are fairly average in your motivation to seek out social reward. You probably have some desire for admiration, influence, and prestige, but you can also be content when you're not winning recognition from others. I definitely think when you are a content creator and you're putting your life online, there's definitely an element of you trying to seek out social rewards. So that's definitely within me, but something I do think is interesting to think about is, if I weren't a content creator, would I be using social media the way that I do? And it's funny, I think if I didn't fall down the content creator, role, I don't know if I'd be as big on using social media, because personally, when I use social media, the only personal account that I have is Facebook. I never want to update things on there. I just don't feel the need to share. I've shared like some milestones, but I'm not very public about things that are happening in my life on my personal Facebook in comparison to, if you go on Instagram, which is still my Instagram account, but it's not just friends and family following me. It's also you guys, which you are my friends and family too in a different way, but I just think of the two very differently. So in that way, I guess if I were to think of myself as someone that just has a normal relationship with social media, I probably wouldn't have that same desire to share. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone. That probably doesn't, but it makes sense to me for some reason. Agreeableness is a good predictor of the quality of relationships. People high in this trait are more likely to keep friends and less likely to fall out with people. They are more likely to think of other people kindly and to be forgiving of faults or slights. Yeah, I'd agree with that. As I read up on agreeableness. Low neuroticism scores are less likely to get divorced or to suffer mental illness. They tend to handle stress well and take unfortunate events in stride. I will say, I think this score came out a little bit lower than it probably is in reality. I feel like stress is my big enemy. That's the one that I let sometimes take over for myself. And I think there's very few people that I allow to see that on a consistent basis. But generally, I do think I take more of a optimistic POV, and I try and be a little bit less reactive in situations. I'm trying to get better at it, at least. Starting to break out a little bit on my chin, and it dawned on me that my period is coming soon, so mystery solved. I'm going in with some of the turmeric tonic from Coco Kind to try and, I don't know, do damage control before things get wild. That should do it. I'll eventually go in with moisturizer. Got the ambient lighting happening in both the living room and the bedroom. I'm very excited to sleep in this bed tonight because these sheets have been freshly cleaned, and there's nothing better than freshly cleaned sheets. Just wanted to like dive my body right into that. Oh my gosh. Just trying to figure out what I'm gonna be watching tonight as my source of entertainment. I think those are ready. While I wait for those beauties to cool off, I just want to say another thank you to Cricut for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to click the link in the description box below to find out what other projects you can make using Cricut machines. I feel like today had some quality, relaxing, and fun activities, so I'm glad I made the time to do that today. Like the video if you enjoyed it, hit subscribe and the notification bell if you haven't already, and I will see you all very soon with a new video.